Hello. Hello. Give me a second as I swap some audio. There we are. So I haven't played before, obviously. First time playing. We will see how it goes. Sections of Dreambound can be played entirely text or point and click with puzzles. Which would you like to play? Note this cannot be changed. Dreambound is designed to play with point and click puzzles, and the escape sections play out best in that format. However, if you don't enjoy puzzles or your computer is struggling, I suggest switching to text only. Well, if Ash ever played, then, he's got text only, but I like puzzles, so we are going to play with puzzles. So point and click puzzles it is. It was 2:37 p.m. on a Friday. On this specific day, at this specific time, a funeral was being held. Oh, we're starting with a death already. Okay. That's one way to do it. He was so young. How unfortunate. There'll be many more Fridays, many more days where the clock would tick over to 2:37 p.m. Time would go on, whether one person was here or not. So much talent wasted. What did it mean to be alive? And what did it mean to be dead? Also, I apologize if the audio is fucked. I don't have anyone telling me, how it sits right now, and I don't know how bad it is, so that's entirely up to whoever's in chat. If and when people in chat, then they get to let me know. His family must be devastated. What did it mean to exist? And when would the existential dread finally cease? The boy with brown hair sat in the corner, alone. To him, that coffin looked much too small. Much too small to hold a soul so large. Much too small to contain an entire existence with all of its history. If you think a coffin is small, check a small airplane box. Sorry, distracted. Noah. Tomorrow, everyone else will go on living. Tomorrow, everyone else will forget. And if not tomorrow, then the next day. One day, everyone forgets. The brown-haired boy held tight to his chest. He would not forget. But even he could not convince himself of these words. How easy it was to spout platitudes while someone lay dead 10 feet away. I'm sorry. It was 2:37 p.m. on a Friday. And on this Friday, a funeral was being held for two. I love this studio, by the way. 2.5 Studios is great. Prologue. But they have the best openings. It's so great. Like, the minute I saw their opening for A Date with Death, like, favorite game, let's go. Right away. So, this opening also did not leave anything, like, to be desired. It was so good. The hard part is I don't have enough money to come to like, hey, go make an opening for my channel, because I would love to. God, that's so good. Alone, confined within his prison, the man sits, his back slouched and his arm raised. In his hand, a paintbrush. A weapon in his eyes, perhaps. A tool. From it, life should flourish into every corner of a world, part imaginary, part very much real. Waves crash onto the white shores. The night sky reflects back on itself, a sea of stars amidst the swirling currents. All is calm, yet not. But, as it were, that world didn't exist. Couldn't exist. It would never exist. It could not be created by his hand. The man holds his paintbrush up to the empty canvas, blank, like many of the rest. Is it day, or is it night? He does not know. Life doesn't belong in a place like this, after all. It has never belonged. He closes his eyes, waiting for it to appear. Something. Anything. A vision, a masterpiece, a muse, an apparition that would inspire his creativity. Anything at all. Brought this his heart already. Right off the bat, like, something to make you feel creative. Rip. Creativity, like creative moments are hard. But nothing comes to him. Nothing comes, without fail, without exception. Every stroke he laid against that impossibly bright, white canvas was like a stain on his soul. A dirty mark on what should have been pristine. By his hand, all he could create was loneliness. Nothing belongs. Nothing would ever belong again, for he was broken. Time moves like this, unfailingly. An eternity passes, or what feels like it, as the clock slowly ticks away. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Never ending. But what is time to someone with no time left to give? His hand shakes. He cannot force it to paint. He cannot set his hand down, either. Behind his closed eyes, he wars off the tiredness he can feel at the edge of his consciousness. Perhaps a dream would help him to paint. Perhaps if he simply allowed himself to be carried away in that star-filled ocean, inspiration would strike. Or perhaps it would take him away from this world and finally bring him peace. Yet he opened his eyes, denying the very thought. Anything but that. Anything but a dream. Was it fear? Hate? Disgust? No, it was more. Much more. This was no base emotion. This was something far more deep, far more sinister. The minds of men were warped beyond recognition. Their being had become wholly evil. During the day, they were masked to hide their intentions. But during the night, inside their dreams, the masks would fall. What was once pure and bright was now corrupt beyond repair. Might be a good time for me to pause and check my audio real fast. So I'm going to do that. I'll mute my mic and then just watch a scroll back of the YouTube for a minute. Okay, so it sounds fine. Audio sounds good. Reminded I don't particularly listen to myself very often, so that's weird. I also don't know if my voice naturally sounds like this, or if like my mic is just weird and it plays weird. I don't know. Go figure. But my audio is good, so. Noah, you need to stop this at once. You can't live off this, or whatever these scribbles are meant to be. Imagine what people would say about me. About us. Guessing these are his parents. Why can't you be more like your brother? It's about time you grew up. You're not a kid anymore. Go throw all of your stupid little books out already and give this up. Soundtrack is also fantastic. No, this is all I have. All I have left. This is all his fault. Look what he's done to our son. Please, I need something. Just one thing. Let me have just one. A letter laid at rest on the table, unopened. He lacked the courage to open it, too scared to read the words that would shape his life. His fingers, trembling, came ever closer until the feel of the textured envelope brushed against his fingertips. It felt like life. It felt like the future. It felt like the one thing that could pull him out of the deep pit he found himself in, slowly being buried alive. He opened the envelope in one fell swoop. Words spread out across the page, perfectly ordered. He suddenly felt as if he lost the ability to read. In that dim light, he tried anyway. Dear Noah, it is with great pleasure that I inform you that you have been selected to receive the Copper Cove University of Art Excellence Scholarship. Each year, only one student is chosen statewide to receive the scholarship through a process of portfolio presentations, interviews, and recommendations from prior instructors. The Copper Cove Academy of Art Excellence Scholarship provides full tuition for your years at our school. That is... You don't find scholarships like that often. Like, ever. Sorry, I work at a university. It's a thing. Please note that students with this scholarship must be enrolled full-time and maintain a 3.5 grade point average to continue to receive their scholarship. Once again, I congratulate you on the selection for this great honor. We look forward to seeing you on campus. In front of his eyes, the letter turned to dust, floating away on the wind into that imaginary world. Memories of the past aimed towards him like daggers. They pierced his flesh, but that didn't matter anymore. He was used to it. In fact, he sometimes wondered if he enjoyed it now. The pain spread throughout his body, but at least he could finally feel something. Bro, you need antidepressants. Go see a therapist. His paintbrush, still tinged with color, stayed motionless against the canvas. Resisting the urge to yawn, he rubbed at his eyes with his spare hand. A ring sounded through the darkness, echoing through the soulless house. Look at all that paintings. That takes dedication to get all of that, and years. A lot of money for all the paints and stuff, too. No one was around to pick it up. No one, except... Go away. Sorry, my cat is biting me. Hi, little one. Why are you biting me for? Yeah? She's biting my hand. No claw marks on my finger. Like, yeah? Hi. I kept ringing and ringing, then ringing some more. Sorry, I know the ringing's annoying. Then it stopped. And there it is. Until it began again. Go away! Noah clutched at his head, the ache only made worse by the constant sound that pierced his ears. He wanted to ignore it. More than anything, he didn't want to answer the phone. But the caller was stubborn, and Noah easily irritated. He stood from his stool, dropping his paintbrush to the ground. It clacked against the wooden floor, paint flying across the planks. Just more added to the already growing collection. At this point, more paint was splattered over his house than there was on any canvas. You can see pretty clearly everywhere. Slowly, each step deliberate, he walked towards his phone. The model was old, the same one he'd had since he was a teenager. He looked at the number on the illuminated screen, but he didn't recognize it. Still, the ringing continued. Chat, remind me sometime when I have time to, turtleneck and button-up shirt to make one for my model. Because it's hot. I should just turn this stupid fucking thing off. He stared at the screen, the light burning his eyes. And for some reason, he picked it up. Noah? Is that you? What do you want? How did you get this number? It's me, your dad. Can we talk? I answered the phone, didn't I? What do you want? Please, it's been so long. What do you want? Your mother has just passed away. Please come to the funeral, at least. Noah removed the phone from his ear and slid his finger along the screen. It went silent. The other person never to know what happened. Without a second thought, he switched the phone off and dropped it into the rubbish. So she's dead? His voice lacked any emotion. Whether this fact made him happy or sad, no one would be able to tell. He walked back toward his easel. On it, a still blank canvas waiting to be brought to life. He threw it to the ground in a heap with the rest of the abandoned masterpieces, before sending his foot crashing down towards them, breaking them in half. One after another, he smashed them into pieces soundlessly. Not a word or a cry escaped his lips. Only a silent fury. Not at his mother's passing, only aimed towards himself. Finished, but not feeling any more fulfilled, he dropped to the ground and curled into a ball. His eyelids felt heavier and heavier until finally he found sleep. Pretty sure that's not how you're supposed to sleep, but... I'm gonna quick save now. Just so I have a save file. But even sleep wasn't so restful. Noah woke to the sound of a key turning in a door, then the same door opening slowly. Footsteps started to slow before they sped up, coming directly towards him. But he didn't flinch or turn to look at who it was. If someone wants to kill me, let them. If they want to steal any of the shit, go for it. I don't care anymore. I don't care, so just let me die. Noah, what are you doing on the ground? Are you okay? Noah should have realized who it was, yet he somehow felt disappointed. It would have been better if it was someone here to kill me already. Go away. I'm resting. You have a perfectly good bedroom, one room over. Come on, let me help you to bed. I don't want to. Just leave already. Let me at least get you some water. Come on. Cain extended his hand to Noah, who stared back at it blankly. Cain was the same as he'd always been. Kind, dependable, hardworking, charismatic, funny, popular. Everything he wasn't. With a sigh, he took Cain's hand and let himself be guided towards a seat. He fished out a bottle of water from his bag, obviously bought in preparation for this visit. Must be nice, living the kind of life where you buy a bottle of water. Okay, chat, so I also... Sorry, I turned on the hair tracking and I need to turn that back off. It's okay, but it's kind of meh. Let me turn that back off real fast. Because I feel like it's funny. Is that any better? I can't see anything from here. Yeah, it's just... It's weird with the placement of my hands when it's tracking them. Like, it's making my hands way bigger than it needs to be. So I need to turn this off. Select trackers. Let's turn that down. Okay. So that should be hand trackers back off again. Better. I still have little GIF trackers, so I still have those. Okay. So I got my face tracking, which is not the best, but it's not bad. So my mom suffered from kidney stones a lot, and they were mineral based. So I don't drink a lot of like tap water or mineral water. Like I usually drink bottled water, but it's purified. Just because like I've inherited some of her allergies and intolerances, and I don't want to be suffering from kidneys for most of my life, like kidney stones. I don't want to suffer from kidney stones because some of her kidney stones got so bad she had to have surgery for it, and I don't. Kidney stones are shit, and I don't want to deal with that. Like they're painful. Would rather not have kidney stones, and if I can prolong it or not have them by drinking purified bottled water instead of tap water, like I'll still cook with tap water, that's fine. I'm just reducing the risk where I can. So we're trying to. Before someone leaves a comment on my video and is like, "Oh yeah, no, that's not how." Noah, I gave you that spare key for emergencies, you know? I'd say this counts as an emergency, wouldn't you? Noah, this has to stop. You need to get some help. Get outside. I don't know, just... Things need to change. You can't keep living like this. Noah angrily pulled away from Kane, a frown settling on his brow. No, nothing has to change. I'm fine the way I am. You didn't ask for your help, so stop butting into my life. You didn't need to. Look, this isn't like you. You didn't used to be like this, you know? He wouldn't want this for you either. You know that. Shut up. Don't bring him up. He was my best friend too. I'm allowed to talk about him. Hi, Harley. Good morning. My hand to get in front of the computer screen. My hand. I'm certain this isn't what he wants you to do. A silence spread out between them as both looked away from each other, searching for what to say. Between them was a gap that didn't used to be there, once upon a time. How's your painting going? What does it look like to you? Noah shrugged, but continued when Kane stayed silent. I should just give up. There's no point anymore. I can't paint. I'm just wasting my time. Of course you can. I've seen you paint before. I know what you're capable of. Then why? Look around you. Why can't you do it anymore? It's too late. Everything feels dirty. There's nothing worth capturing left. I'm chasing a light that doesn't exist. But look, you have plenty of nice paintings around. No looks between them. They morphed in his mind, becoming too ugly to even glance at. They're nothing. Less than nothing. Yeah, whoever this guy, like... So I don't remember the summary of this game. I don't. I saw 2.5 Studios, and I bought it. But so far I'm gathering that someone Noah cared about passed away, and now he's in this massive depression. And his parents, I think, hated the fact that he was with this guy. So, at least to some degree, like his mom really hated the guy he was with, and his dad's kind of meh. But now his mom's passed away, so that's my guess. I mean, we'll figure out the story as we go. This is what the end feels like, I think. Wouldn't it be nice if the world just ended tomorrow? No, maybe going out and experiencing some new things would help spark your passion. Meeting someone new. I mean, meeting new people will be good for you. There's no point. I die surrounded by my blank canvases, and then finally I have my only masterpiece. Noah. As if unsure about what to say, Kane found the remote and turned on the old, small TV. A news presenter dressed impeccably. Her face was so full of emotion, but of course she really cared about the words that came from her mouth. Oh, something awesome. Next up, we have some breaking news from directly on the scene. A number of bodies have been found with strange, flower-like markings, first believed to be tattoos. Analysts say that no ink, pigment, or burn marks are featured on the victims, which has ground the investigations to a halt until they can find out what these markings mean. Further proof that true art is found in death. Ugh. With a disgusted sound from deep in Kane's throat, he switched the TV off, as if deciding that silence would be better. I'll ask you one more time, okay? Please. Let me help. I don't want your help. I just want you to leave me alone and stop coming here. We're friends, Noah. I'm not going anywhere. I don't want any friends. I don't deserve any. I don't want to be the only person left that matters to me to betray me too. Better if you just leave now. I'm not going anywhere. I promise. I told you to leave. Stay. As if on cue, Kane stood, producing another water bottle from his leather bag. He stepped closer and closer until he stood in front of a potted plant, the only bit of life left in the entire house. He watered it slowly, deeply in thought. I'm sure you'll look after this, alright? I can't stop by every day. I am. Good. Finished. Kane walked towards the door and opened it wide. Noah shaded his eyes from the sun. I just want to see you go back to your old self, alright? I want to help you. He doesn't exist. He shut the door with a soft thud. Once again, he was alone. How I prefer to be. Noah stood from his stool and wobbled as the room spun around him. His head still ached, and he could feel a deep hunger in the pit of his stomach. When was the last time I ate? Uneasy on his feet, he slowly found his way into the kitchen. Noah's kitchen was as bare as ever. He had never used it, really. Most of the time, something to be delivered, or better yet, skip eating. That kitchen is in serious need of a scrub down everywhere. A scrub down. And then to wash this, he has two. Forgot some countries have a hot water and a separate cold water. His money was limited, and he's always put his paint supplies over anything else. Noah reached up to open a cupboard, knowing full well it was bare, when he smelled something. Food. His eyes found a container left on his table with a small note. He picked it up. It read, "Enjoy. I'll bring some groceries around soon. Kane." Kane's really nice to him. Not necessarily in a you should get together romantic kind of way, but in a like, your friend actually cares about you, and maybe just don't be an ass to him. He wondered for a moment whether he'd accept it or not, but eventually his stomach won out against his stubbornness, and he sat down at his dining table alone to eat it. While he sat, he thought. He really hated it when he thought. How easily he could just come and go, when I'm stuck in here like a corpse in a coffin, buried alive. But what of it? I don't care anymore. That sunlight that I haven't seen for years. It suits him, not me. My friends, my family, all fake. Twisted, corrupted. Just like me. Nothing is pure. Nothing. Except... He brought the fork to his lips, slowly nibbling at the home-cooked food Kane had brought. Still a good cook. He really does have everything going for him these days. Suddenly he froze, terror crawling over him. His head throbbed and his stomach lurched. Fell. His fork dropped to the table, abandoned. That was a cool transition. The world spun around him until it disappeared. Spinning, spinning, filling his body with a dread oh so familiar. He squeezed his tightly shut eyes. His home was long gone. His surroundings were still blurred around him. His body felt as if it was being ripped in all directions, as if at any moment he would be torn into shreds. But he wasn't, and he knew this feeling well. With a thump that didn't reflect how long he'd been falling, he hit the ground. When he opened his eyes again, he saw darkness all around him. Not a human darkness, but a darkness that was something more. This reminds me a little bit of like the beginning of Touch Starved. I've only played the demo of that, so that's another game we can eventually go and play. Something sinister, something threatening. A place no one belonged. Noah quickly got to his feet and checked himself over. No injuries. His eyes darted to the bleak, dark landscape. Nothing stood out to him. No one awaited him. This isn't what it's usually like. What's going on? I want to go home, please. I just want to go home. But he knew full well what was required of him. In desperation, searching for the person who could free him from this nightmare. Bro, what nightmares do you have? Over a little more? Can't really do too much. I'm still gonna just cover the screen, so I apologize for that. He walked and walked, then walked some more. Those feet ached with deep blisters. Yet he still walked, because the alternative wasn't something he wanted to face. Behind him, nothing. In front of him, nothing. If he was walking in circles, he wouldn't have known. His feet ground to a halt when he finally saw something. Or someone. A man, curled up into a ball, sitting in the distance. Darkness surrounded him, threatening to take over his very essence. His eyes were hollow, filled with sadness. Their eyes locked. My father? Why would I be brought here? His mind raced as he tried to come up with any reason, any excuse. The man called out to him, but his words were lost in the shadows, never to be heard. Noah, still frozen, couldn't decide whether he should approach him or run away. His heart yelled at him to run, put as much distance between them as possible. But his mind was left only to before he could make a decision, it spiraled and spiraled, twisting and turning until someone stepped out of it. Another person, surrounded by shadows. Steps were slow, but not careful. Deliberate, perhaps. With a purpose. He approached the curled-up man with his heavy steps. Suddenly, the man's voice traveled to Noah. Noah, Noah, I want my son. Please, give me my son back. The shadowy man raised his arm. In his hand, what looked like a gun. And then you heard the bang, so... There was no hesitation, no pause. Just a single shot through the head. It was efficient. The curled-up man dropped to the ground, his body evaporating into the mist. Nightmare. The world shook around them. Mountains of shadows came crashing. The whole world threatened to cease existence. Noah's eyes darted around. Noah's eyes darted around, searching for a place to escape to, and he finally looked back towards the man with the gun. And as the world came crashing down around him, he saw the shadowy figures looking right back at him. An empty night, eternal darkness. Why is darkness always seen as cold, anyway? Thing, Noah felt like he was surrounded by intensity. It was too much, too overwhelming. He thought that at any second he'd burst into flames. But nothing happened to him, even if he wished for it. Something soft wrapped around his shoulders, holding him tight. He should have been scared, but instead the pressure felt welcoming. When he opened his eyes again, he was sitting. Noah sat in front of his easel, his hand poised over the canvas. His hands were covered in splattering of paint. It cracked over his skin, already dry. The darkness that surrounded him suddenly felt light after the place he had escaped. Noah paused in surprise, his eyes glued to his canvas. On it, a painting of pure darkness. A reflection of a dream. How could this be? I wasn't here? At first, he wondered how. Then why? Before his mind settled on an answer that didn't answer anything. It's perfect. At some point, the brush had dropped from his hand and landed on the floorboards. Just another splatter against a sea of color. He couldn't look away. He wouldn't. Not when this was everything he had been waiting for. This is it. Jumping to his feet, he lifted the painting from its place and carefully put it carefully put it to the side. Who would have thought that which I detest would create my finest piece yet? And all it took was a single dream. He sat back on his stool and slumped forward, deep in thought. Dude, you were eating food. Hold on. He was eating food, took one bite, or like a couple of bites, and then passed out at his dining room table because he hadn't eaten or drank a lot of water in so long. He passed out, had a nightmare, and then apparently unconsciously got up and painted something before he actually woke up. Like, so I know from experience that you can do things or say things that when you're technically still unconscious, like your brain isn't aware, but your body's still just reacting in general. So I know that's a thing. But, like, did he at least finish his dinner or food? Like, did he eat? Did he finish his water bottle? Because he kind of needed it. My dad let me stay up all night playing. You've got to go get it. As if my parents let me skip out on studying to play games. You won the parent lottery. You can't just say that you're studying and stay over at my place then. Oh man, really? I'm down for that. Kane leant over Noah's desk, talking and laughing as he usually did. Noah sat lazily, kicking his feet against the legs of the desk, not worried about whether it would annoy anyone else in the room. It was an early morning a few months into September. Noah had settled into his routine by now, walking to school with Kane, chatting until the bell rang, then wasting the day away until he could go home. Of course, there was more to it than that. Studying, tutoring, pressure from his parents. But all in all, nothing ever shook him up. He was comfortable, but bored. Hey, I heard something interesting. What now? Apparently someone's moving into our class. What? At this time of the year? No way. They'd never catch up with the workload. Funny story, if you come from a school that has a higher workload, you don't have to catch up. No, for real. My dad said so, and your dad's on the board of directors. Yeah, you say it every time. Do you think it'll be a cute girl? Too cute for you, that's for sure. Ouch, my heart. It's fine. You're the only one I need. Kane fluttered his eyelashes, putting on a voice so clingy that Noah physically recoiled. Ew, hopefully it's a guy so I can make a new best friend. I think something's wrong with mine. You can try. He'll also be able to put up with you. Step. The door opened as someone walked carefully to the front of the room and behind the desk. Their teacher, Mr. Floyd, stood in front of the classroom before clapping his hands. Alright, take your seats. I have some exciting news today. The class chattered endlessly as the students did as they were told. An exciting buzz spread through the room. As some of you may have heard, we have a new student joining our class today. He's just moved here from interstate, so make sure to help him if he gets lost with anything. So a boy. Guess Kane was wrong about that one. Noah leant his elbows against the desk, resting his head in his hands. For some reason, he didn't find himself all that interested. The feeling, and I'm sure the chat's gonna be like, no shit. I have a feeling that this is the boy that Noah gives his entire life to. Also, if you see me looking over to the side, that's because that's where I can see my chat. I have a feeling that this is where the boy that Noah gives his life to, and that when this boy dies, Noah is heartbroken and utterly wrecked and depressed and completely useless. Yeah, sorry, Noah needs therapy. He needs a lot more food, a lot more water, and therapy. For some reason, he didn't find himself all that interested. Anyway, I'll let him introduce himself. You can come in now. Pause. No one opened the door. For a few moments, anyway. Slowly, the door opened wide, and someone stepped in. Noah sat up in his seat, his eyes locked on the boy that entered. Love at first sight, aww. Blonde hair and deep green eyes. He didn't hesitate any longer. He stepped in front of the class with the brightest smile Noah had ever seen. I feel like I know these interests by heart. I feel like I know these interests by heart now. It's nice to meet you all. My name's August. I just moved here with my dad. Actually, we move around every couple of months, so I've been to around 7 schools already? A few students gasped in surprise, hanging on to every word he said. Rather than sound like a well-rehearsed speech, his words flowed naturally and calmly, without a single nerve to be heard. Now that tells you how many times he's actually said it. Because a well-rehearsed speech sounds like a speech. When your words flow naturally and calmly like that, no, not nerves or anything, that is well-rehearsed. Just saying. It certainly did seem like he was used to making such introductions. Still, I hope we'll be staying here a while longer, at least enough time to get to know you all. August is a pretty name. I thought it would be a girl with a name like that. Haha. What does your dad do? He's a photographer, so he's always traveling and moving. I had the option of staying behind with my grandparents, but I decided to go with him. Whoa, so awesome. I wish I could travel that much. What else to say about me? I like sunsets and long walks on the beach. The room exploded in laughter, but Noah couldn't even manage a giggle. Something about the boy captivated him, caught his gaze, and held it there. Told you. It's the boy that he's, like, obsessed with. I mean, not obsessed with, but you know what I mean. He was afraid if he even moved a muscle, the boy would disappear. He's only a high schooler. So I'm gonna let this go. And so he stared silently. Alright, enough of the dating app intro. Make sure you all make August welcome and show him around later, okay? Little picture of Mr. Floyd. Go take a seat. There's a spot for you over there next to Noah. Noah waved meekly, and August did the same in return before taking his seat. Whatever was said for the rest of the class, Noah didn't know. He twirled his pencil between his fingers, his workbook abandoned. His elbow rested against his desk as he snuck glances toward August's profile. Every now and then, he would shift, making Noah jump and look away. Oh, his profile is almost pretty. He continued staring at the boy. Well, not even almost. It is pretty. With that thought in mind, August's eyes finally met Noah's. Noah froze, unsure if he should quickly look away and pretend he hadn't been staring, or if he'd just smile and act natural. Eventually, August decided for him. He smiled brightly, tilting his head at the same time. Noah awkwardly smiled back before looking away, his heart racing. Only a few moments later, a folded piece of paper slid onto his desk. Noah looked at it in surprise, then back to August. He simply raised a finger to his lips in a motion. You're Noah, right? It's nice to meet you. I hope we can be friends. That is the bubbliest handwriting I've seen for a guy. I mean, I guess it's fine. It is what it is. This guy's supposed to be all bright and cheerful and like sunshine and light or whatever, but it's very bubbly. He put a nose in his smiley face. He wrote his return message carefully on the other side, unsure of what exactly to say. Yeah, nice to meet you too, August. Looks like we'll be stuck together this year. Why did he do it too? So lame. When Mr. Floyd turned his back, Noah quickly scrunched up the paper and tossed it towards August. He meticulously flattened out the screwed-up ball and read the message. Done reading, August propped his elbow up on the desk, rested his chin in his hand, copying Noah's posture, and smiled towards him. Aw, they're flirting already. Noah's mind went blank, and the rest of the lesson passed in a blur until the bell for lunch suddenly rang. So I have a slight concern for August, as an adult going into this, because you join this class, and there's this boy who says absolutely nothing but just stares at you the whole time. Just stares at you. And then you're told to sit next to him, and he's still staring at you. And so you decide to send him a little message, you know, introducing yourself, maybe probably make it less awkward. It does. But you get all flirty with the boy just staring at you, so like, I'm guessing August just finds Noah hot, and that's okay, because otherwise the concern there is like, I know you're a high schooler, but like, you're not supposed to flirt with a person who is staring at you and saying absolutely nothing, even when everybody else is excited and talking to you. Like, he's just staring at you. Like, you look at him, give him the awkward hi smile, like, yeah, I'm new here. Okay. And then nothing still. You're not supposed to flirt with that. You're supposed to, like, casually ignore it until it goes away. This might be why I'm still single. Only when Kane was standing over his desk, waving a hand in front of his face, did he snap out of it. Hello, Earth to Noah, you there? Right, yeah, is it time for a break already? Yeah, and Mr. Floyd called on you twice and you didn't say a word. Are you feeling alright? Yeah, I'm fine, just feeling a little out of it. What do you think of the new guy? What? Noah's cheeks felt hot at the sudden question. Why? I don't know, just making conversation. He seems nice. He has a nice smile, too. Yeah, Noah's already heads over heels. This is teenage love already. 10 seconds. Right. Well, I guess we should go greet him, too. Want to go over now? No, I mean, I'm sure he has a bunch of other people hanging around him right now. Wouldn't want to crowd him. The rest of the classroom was empty. Everyone else had already cleared out, either to eat or chat with friends. August had obviously been pulled along to have a tour with their other classmates. Yeah, seems like it'd be a little hard to get a hold of. Later then. Wanna go get something to eat? I brought food, so I might just eat here. Whoa, you sharing? Don't be stupid. Your lunches are way better than mine. What can I say? I'm something of a chef de cuisine. Noah laughed in response before pulling out his lunch bags. In it, a sandwich and a few other snacks. Compared to the luxurious meal Kane had cooked for himself, it was nothing. Actually, just give me some of yours. You know I'm always happy to share with you. Kane gave Noah a warm smile. He might play around, but Noah knew that Kane would probably do anything for him. The door suddenly rattled and opened. Noah put his sandwich down and turned, just in time to see someone walk towards him. The boy from earlier. August. He sat at his desk quietly, minding his own business. Kane looked towards him, then back to Noah, motioning for him to speak up. You okay? Oh, just a little tired. I thought I could probably hide in here for a little bit. Ooh, new song.
King of all that is and what. I just try to hold my tongue. Anyway,
I'm enjoying the soundtrack. Oh, just a little tired. I thought I could probably hide in here for a little bit. My name's Noah, which I guess you kind of already knew. And this is Kane. You want to eat lunch with us? Is it really okay? Of course. The more the merrier. August turned his chair around. That same bright smile. You get dragged around everywhere by the girls?
it was just a matter of time.
I think they showed me every inch of the school, which I'm happy about. Don't get me wrong. Just a little exhausted. I liked your introduction, by the way. What a stupid thing to say. God, I'm so lame. Really? He laughed a little before looking down. I was a little nervous, honestly. It's hard coming in front of people and talking about yourself. I'm not really that interesting, so I just have to build myself up to do that. You certainly broke the ice. You got fitting well around here. I can tell. Thank you. I really hope so. His voice was gentle and calming. He had an air around him of brightness. I'm gonna go buy a drink. Do you want anything? Just the usual. Do you want me to come? Nah, you can wait here. August? Oh, then can I just have the usual too? Noah could feel that gentle smile directed at him, all throughout his body. Got it. Kane left the room, and it was suddenly silent. Noah tapped his fingers uncharacteristically, wondering what he should say. What he could say to fill the silence between them. Psst. What's the usual, by the way? Just a cola. Phew. I wanted to sound cool, but if it was coffee, I would have made an embarrassment out of myself. I also do not drink coffee, but I do drink soda. Yeah. Noah's fingers tapped against the book that sat in front of him as he searched for something to talk about. I feel like a lot of, high school convenience stores or, high school, vending machines won't have coffee in them. They might have Starbucks now. I feel like a lot of them wouldn't. Go figure. I mean, I don't really remember if my school had a vending machine. School, too boring. Where I lived before here. Everyone's already asked them about that. What's that? August pointed to the book under Noah's fingers, his eyes filled with wonder. Oh, it's just something stupid. Don't worry. Now I'm really interested. Can I see? You really want to see? It's okay with you. It's a little embarrassing. That's okay. I think everyone gets embarrassed about the things they make sometimes. Because it means so much to you. I just missed whatever that was. Feeling shy about his work, he handed the sketchpad over to him. Inside was a plethora of drawings, sketches, and scribbles of anything and everything that had caught Noah's attention at one point or another.
here he comes.
I'm gonna say it's probably because it hasn't had enough time. But no, it probably hasn't enough time to put August in it. Because I'm sure there's gonna be sketches and scribbles of August. For once, he was glad he hadn't drawn anything that day. Lest August find a drawing of himself. Called it! Called it!
That she might stick around. If you really had a doubt, you won't say.
So I feel like my tracking just keeps getting borked. You drew all of these? Yeah, sorry, I said it was stupid. These are amazing. They're so beautiful. No, they're just... You have so much talent. His eyes were filled with so much wonder that Noah couldn't help but respond in earnest. I actually want to become an artist. I know it sounds dumb, but... Amazing. You're really amazing. You'll be a fantastic artist, I can tell. Have you ever tried painting? Oh, I haven't. I can hide these sketchbooks at home. But I think my family might notice if I brought in an easel. Why would that matter? They don't really like me doing art. Well, I think we'd be really good at painting. Your drawings are so beautiful. I'm really bad at painting, though. And drawing. And pretty much anything else art-related. Maybe we could try it together. Noah blurted out the first thing that came into his head before fully regretting it. However, he responded in earnest. That sounds really fun. I'll take you up on that offer. Noah found himself struggling to reply to that sincerity, unused to anyone being interested. The door opened again and Kane stepped in. His eyes wandered from Argus' warm style to the tinge of red on Noah's cheeks before he frowned. Pushing that to the side, he smiled again and sat the drinks down on Noah's desk. Got them. Enjoy. Thank you. I'll pay for them next time, I promise. It's no problem, don't worry. We can just force Noah to pay, anyway. Hey. So, you just moved here, right? Whereabouts is your house? Not far from here. I think it's Fielding Avenue? Fielding Avenue? Fielding Avenue. I'm still wrapping my head around the street names. Both Noah and Kane looked towards each other, blinking in surprise. Number 42? How'd you know? That's the place next door to me. The people living there did move out a few weeks ago. I had no clue. I guess we're neighbors both at school and home, then. Maybe we got home together. I mean, if you're not busy. Yeah, I'd like that. I mean, it's probably the safer option, too. I might get lost otherwise. My dad always told me that if you dropped someone in the middle of the woods, with a broken compass and half a map, they'd still have a better time finding their way out of there than I would. The bell rang again, signaling the end of lunch. August shuffled back to his desk while Kane gathered his things. Oh. Next to him, August dug through his pile of books before frowning. I think I left my math textbook at home. Mr. Floyd laughed, waving his hand in a carefree manner. You can share with Noah for today. Try to remember for next time. Yes, sir. August carefully dragged his table and chair closer to Noah's, till the two were sitting shoulder to shoulder. Alright, everyone open your textbooks to page... Oh god, why did I leave it here last time? Go on, say it, Mr. Floyd. Open your textbooks to page 69 and we'll resume our previous lesson on trigonometry. Some kids in the class snickered and giggled. Usually, Noah would at least glance toward Kane with a smirk, but this time he was completely frozen in place. August leaned his head close to Noah's, the blonde hair hanging down in front of his glasses. He carefully pushed the loose strands behind his ears and read the textbook carefully. Mr. Floyd's voice faded into the distance as Noah's concentration on triangles wavered. He only snapped back to reality when August mumbled something under his breath. Math might be the death of me. You don't know how to do this? Don't laugh, but I usually only just manage to pass my math tests. I promise I'm better in my other subjects. Do you want to work together on these, then? Noah tapped the problems in the textbook with the end of his pencil. Really? Thanks, Noah. Noah. Somehow, the name sounded just right rolling off his tongue. Noah swallowed hard and finally put his eyes away from the blonde boy. I need to concentrate. So, if we have the adjacent and then the hypotenuse. I don't even know if I just read that right. It is whatever it is. August stamped down his workbook where he copied down the problems and had begun working on them. Then Noah reached over, wanting to write something beside August's neat handwriting. Noah barely stopped himself from pulling back as their hands brushed against each other. Oh, that makes much more sense the way I was taught. Thank you, Noah. I think I get it now. No problem. Noah pulled his hand back, awkwardly fidgeting with his pencil. The rest of the day was much like the beginning, a complete and utter blur. For some reason, Noah couldn't get that smile out of his head, yet at the same time, the thought of it made him nervous. What's wrong with me now? As the clock ticked down second by second, till the bell would ring to signal they could go home, the butterflies in Noah's stomach took flight. He tapped his pencil against his desk nervously with a frown. This is stupid. It's not like me to be nervous about anything. He's just another guy, anyway. It's not like I'm walking home with a girl. Bro. Sorry. Beside him, August didn't take any of Noah's actions. August didn't take any note of Noah's actions. Unlike him, August had actually been working through the tasks. Is there something you want to say, or are you just tapping your pencil repeatedly for fun, Noah? Mr. Floyd's voice was lighthearted, and Noah knew instantly he was just joking around, yet his face still went a deep shade of red. No, nothing, Mr. Floyd. When the bell finally sounded for class to end, August was instantly surrounded by people. He struggled between them to move his desk back to where it came from. Kane found his way back over to Noah's desk with a laugh, glancing at the huge crowd. It kind of looked like he'd be shy and quiet, but he seems fine even when he's surrounded by people, huh? In the center of that gathering, August smiled and chattered away as if it were only natural. Yeah. So, why don't we walk around in the city? I can show you around. I'm not gonna lie, I've been streaming for an hour, and so far the only choice I've had to make has been, do you want point and click? Or do you want puzzles? Like puzzles or no puzzles, and I've had no puzzles so far. An hour into the game. What? Oh, actually, I need to call him and unpack. Next time. Then how about we walk home together? Thank you, but I'm actually walking home with Noah. Turns out we're neighbors. Aw, I'm so jealous. You don't want to spend too much time around him anyway. You're too nice for him. He's kind of a jerk. Noah froze at the comment. It's true he wasn't particularly close to his other classmates, but he had no reason to become friends with them all. His classmates literally just called him a jerk in front of his face. Call him like he's the jerk? Please. Yeah, Kane. Thanks for the compliment, but I think he's probably nicer than I am. Also, I don't think it's nice to talk about people behind their backs. Anyway, I need to go. Thank you for showing me around earlier. August waves them off before joining Kane by Noah's desk. Shall we leave, then? Do you live nearby as well? Just across the road, actually. Amazing. It's like fate, meeting you two. Kitty cat in the window. Yeah, right. Fate. Noah stood from his seat and gathered his things, dropping his art book into his backpack. With everything tucked neatly away, they left the school. The air outside was still warm, and the sun beat down on their faces. The smell of late spring gently soared with the wind. Each step felt like it took great effort. As Noah gripped onto his chest, he wondered if he was starting to get sick. Need something to break the ice. Kane doesn't look like he's going to say anything. Think, brain, think. So, what kind of things are you into? Noah stood between Kane and August, but all of that attention was directed at the newcomer. I don't really think I'm into anything very interesting. Your hobby is way cooler. We moved around so much, I never got into any clubs or anything. But I do like reading and taking photos. That's cool. I like reading too. Since when? Since always, Kane. Can't remember the last time I saw you pick up a book. Ebooks are things. They exist, and they're real. Sorry. I do have a life outside of when you see me, you know. What, really? He feigned shock, but Noah just rolled his eyes and looked back towards August, who was laughing at their antics. You two are really good friends, huh? I'm probably the only person who could put up with him. I'd say it's the other way around. Maybe we should have walked home without you. We'd be walking all the same way anyway. That'd be a little awkward. Whatever. I do like reading, so that's cool. And you like taking photos too? Yeah, my dad's been teaching me a little. Cool. I didn't realize you were so into photography too, Noah. Will you just shut up already? Haha, to be honest, I'm nowhere near as good as my dad is. I see Kane's out here calling Noah on his bullshit. Like a true friend. Anyway, it's a little embarrassing only talking about me. What about you, Kane? Me? His only interest are good food and his own looks. Hey. Tell me I'm wrong. I like cooking, and just because I use a moisturizer doesn't make me obsessed with myself. Who uses moisturizer? Don't worry, I do too. Well, I guess it's not that bad. Maybe I should try it. You already have such clear skin. You're really lucky. No, I think yours is a lot nicer. Oh, we can show August the shortcut. Kane smiled, interrupting the conversation. Oh yeah, good idea. The shortcut? It's easier to show you, but if you take a left up ahead, there's a shortcut through the mountain that leads to behind Noah's house. And yours, now. Really? That's amazing. It's not that much shorter, but it's kind of pretty, I guess. Because once you find nature pretty, it's none of your business. With a laugh, they made a turn into the greenery and left behind the sounds of civilization. As the sound of traffic dimmed, so too did the sound of the wilderness begin to settle around the trio. August looked around in wonder with wide eyes. It's beautiful. This really is a beautiful town. I'm sure you lived in much cooler places than out here. Nothing ever happens. Nothing ever changes. Well, I've lived in a lot of places, but nothing like this. I'm so jealous you get to see this every day. Alright, well, just walk this way together again, if you want. Dude, you showed him the shortcut. Why would he not do this walk every day? Not much choice if we're all walking the same way. Kane cut into the conversation, taking a few steps to walk ahead of the other two. The ground was uneven, stones that once made up a path broken and reclaimed by nature. Noah and Kane had traversed this terrain all of their lives. August, on the other hand, watched the ground carefully, cautious for anything he could trip on. The ground's a little uneven, so be careful. If you need a hand... Before Noah could even finish his sentence, August stumbled over a tree root that had forced itself out of the ground. He fell forward, straight towards the edge. With lightning speed, Noah grabbed August's hand and quickly pulled him back into the path. Are you okay? Wow, that was close. I'm fine. I'm totally fine. I should have just watched where I was going. Thank you, Noah. What would I have done without you? It's no big deal. Just be more careful. I will try, at least. Noah looked down to where his hand was wrapped around August's. It felt warm. Warm and comforting. He blinked a few times, staring at the place they had connected. Oh, sorry, I got a little distracted. Noah quickly ripped his hand away and rubbed it back of his neck. Kane turned away from the scene and continued onwards. August, ever with a smile on his face, raced to catch up. Quick, Noah, before we get left behind. We're nearly there. See that river over there? Whoa, a river as well? Once you reach the river, you know you're nearly home. See over there, through the trees? This really was a shortcut. In the summer, you can swim there too. From here in the summer, and we should go together. Finally, they found themselves in front of their houses. Kane waved the other two off and left quietly, which Noah found unlike him. Noah wanted to say something, but he couldn't think of what. Either Kane is jealous, or Kane wants to support his bro, but also knows if bro gets together with the new guy, there goes hanging out time. It sounds more like the second, because the first one, I'm like, Kane's not acting like I have a crush on you, let's keep the new guy away kind of thing. So, I don't know. Noah wanted to say something, but he couldn't think of what. Well, see you tomorrow. Do you want to walk to school together tomorrow? Oh, yeah, that would be cool. August smiled at him again, soft and sweet. I'm glad. See you tomorrow, Noah. Noah found himself locked in place as he watched August walk back towards his house. It was only a few minutes later he managed to snap out of it and enter his home. Welcome home, dear. Did you have a good day at school? Yeah, it was alright. Let me take a quick look at your notes. Just want to make sure you're doing your work. I did it. You don't need to check them. I left them at school anyway. Then bring them home tomorrow. Do you understand? Why? Do what your mother tells you to do. His father grunted from the sofa, still dressed in a suit from a hard day's work. No one knew he couldn't argue with either of them. Fine, whatever. Did you notice someone new moved in next door? They both froze up, as if an uncomfortable subject was mentioned. Yes, unfortunately. There's a new guy in my class, actually. We walked home together. Noah, you shouldn't be spending time with someone like that. What? Why? Just listen to your mother. But why? He seems nice. My dear, you'll have to look at them to realize... Well, they don't exactly fit in around here, do they? How to say it? There's no woman in their house. I worry they're a little too feminine-leaning themselves, if the father is anything to go by. It's not a good idea for us, for you, to be associated with someone like that. I don't know what you're trying to say. The boy's father turned up on our doorstep yesterday. Don't know how someone like him managed to afford a place here. They obviously don't belong. Photography. You should get a real job. That's right. They don't look like they have the money to be here, so we set him off. I don't want to be embarrassed in front of the neighbors. These parents suck. No wonder he doesn't want anything to do with them. He came to say hi, and you threw him out? You don't need to put it like that, dear. Yes, he does. If the son's anything like the father, then you're steer clear of them. Something's not quite right. Wouldn't be surprised if either one of them batted for the wrong team. You understand? Noah frowned at their words. But... Oh, hold on. Taking... Sorry, Leywin came in to say hi and see what I was doing. She wanted to see if I was playing games with people, which I'm not right now, by myself. Because most of the friends I know who play games on the weekends with me, they're playing Doom. Which is fine, they're allowed to do that. She's giving me. But... no buts. Ugh. Upstairs. Upset. Noah stormed out of the room. God, they make me so angry. Noah dropped his backpack on the floor and pulled out his sketch pad. Filled with anger, he lazily scrawled lines over a blank page. Why do they have to care so much about how they're seen? Maybe I should go apologize to them. Ugh. For some reason, one comment stuck in his head. They think August would like guys? I mean, he doesn't really seem like he would if they didn't even meet him. But it wouldn't matter if he did. Yeah, because you like him. I wonder if he does. His mind kept turning in circles, spinning and spinning, while his pencil dragged harshly across the paper, till finally the lead snapped. Are those achievements I'm getting in the corner? That might be what I'm getting. Going to save. And I'm checking real fast because what? All those achievements? Aw, Dad, where is... Those are achievements that I'm unlocking slowly. There's a lot of them. Okay. Alright. It's gonna take a minute to stretch. Since we were in the house, we're back in the present. I'm assuming this is the present, not the past. So... Okay. Well, you want to also grab me a drink, so... Eating, or drinking something for my throat, because it's a minute and a half of talking. Alright, alone. It was an inescapable fact. It was unlovable, detestable, undesirable. What the fuck happened with the flirting that was going on? There was definitely flirting going on. Nothing he did could help him escape that. No matter where he went, those eyes, filled with hate, would follow him. Their gazes would burn him alive where he stood. Their words would pierce him like blades, stabbing down to his very core. His essence would darken and crumble away into nothingness. You deserved it, they would say. If you'd listened to us, this wouldn't have happened, they would scream. Why couldn't you be normal? A cry would sound. Even here, far beyond where those words could find him, still feel them in his chest, in his mind, in his heart. You will always be alone. Always. No one else could love you. No one else could put up with you. So just curl up into a ball and die already. Die. Just die. Noah slowly opened his eyes. He still sat in front of his easel. On it, a new canvas, still blank. His eyes darted back towards the painting that had appeared the night before. A nightmare. Disgusting. Warped. A reflection of a father who would never love his son. Who could never love his son? That's... Oh. Yeah. It was beautiful. It was everything he'd ever wished for. He stood from his place, stretching out his sore shoulders. His bones creaked and ached from years of being bent over his work. Absent-mindedly, he picked up the remote and turned on the TV. Background noise. White noise to fill the void where he had been left empty. But for some reason, he found his eyes on the screen. We now have permission to share the imagery of the strange markings that have been appearing on the bodies of the deceased. On the screen, a man laid with his eyes closed, never to reopen. Vines wrapped around his arms, trailing up to his throat, finally growing onto his face. They centered on a flower in the middle of the man's forehead. Beauty and death. This man was found in his home late last night. Previously, his wife was found in the same condition. Police are still investigating whether foul play was involved. The camera zoomed out to show the rest of the man's face. Noah froze. His eyes traveled to his painting and back to the screen. It was his father. There was no doubt about it. Without second thought, Noah jumped to his feet and approached the TV. He held on to it tight, searching for some kind of answer. Was he sad his father was gone? No. But what I saw last night... So far, the police have not shared any leads. We'll keep you updated as the case unfolds. Is it possible? Did he die because of what happened yesterday? But that wasn't really him. Just a shadow in a dream? His words swirled around in his head, threatening to consume him. Questions surfaced one after another, but he couldn't think of a single answer. He felt as if he was going crazy. I need to talk to someone. Anyone. But who would understand? Who would care? He had nobody, after all. Cain. Noah grimaced at the thought. All he did was push him away. All I did was make him leave, and now he needed him. What did I do with my phone? He threw it in the trash bin. He searched high and low before remembering he put it in the bin. With a sigh, he reached in and managed to find it. He switched it on. 11 missed calls from his father. He deleted the records and instead tried to call Cain. Your service has been disconnected. Please visit us at... Fuck! Noah hung up quickly before slamming his phone down. Bills. It was always bills. The money he'd saved was reaching its end. Fuck. Cain, why aren't you here when I need you? He's probably at work. Of course he is. Noah's eyes glanced towards the front door. For a moment, he wondered what life would be like if he had a job, a family that cared, colleagues, friends, a life, perhaps a lover, a pet. Before he realized it, his hand was on the doorknob. His palms were sweaty and his breath shaky. I'm not scared. It's not scary. I hate it. At first, he wasn't scared. He withdrew because he hated it. He hated other people. He hated their fake happiness. Hated that they had futures that were taken from him. He knew they were all liars, cheats, backstabbers. Now it'd been too long. How many years since he last walked in the sun? Too many. What the fuck happened here? Like, I get that August probably died, but what the fuck happened here? What? I'm so confused. Still, he turned that doorknob and stepped out into the bright light. A mirage of happiness spread before Noah. Sunlight fell upon his face. In the distance, a dark storm cloud rolled out. He raised a hand to cover his eyes, unused to the light. He thought it would feel good, the sun on his face after so long. But it didn't. It felt wasted on him. His eyes glued to the ground, Noah walked to the sidewalk, careful not to meet anyone's gaze. He wandered and wandered, every step further from his home, his comfort, making his heart beat even faster. I think I know where Cain works. I should know the way. His uneasy steps continued. A group of teenagers came barreling down the path. He held his breath as they went past, waiting for them to say something to him. Only when they had long passed could he breathe again. He walked, and then walked some more, and then just for good measure, walked further. At this point, he was sure he'd been walking in circles. Every street, every shop, every house looked like the last. He thought he knew where Cain worked, but he didn't. That's a friend. As it turned out, he knew very little about Cain anymore. Overwhelmed with the sights and sounds, he crouched down on the ground, covering his face with his arms. At that exact moment, the heavens opened. Noah was torn between staying where he was and running to find cover. But in the end, his legs wouldn't move. Couldn't. They made the decision for him. Well, that's shit timing. I'm so stupid. Fuck. Why did I leave? If I just waited, he would have come over eventually. It's all just a stupid coincidence. My parents' death, the marking on my dad's forehead. It means nothing. Cain would just laugh at me if he could see me now. A group of businessmen walked by him, chatting and laughing. Noah couldn't help but look away, embarrassed by himself. Look at him. Do you think he's homeless? That or a druggie. Better stay away. They laughed at him. He thought he was used to those words, but they still hurt. Noah looked up just in time to lock eyes with the one person he was hoping to see. You guys go on ahead. Cain's gonna go buy some drugs. Good luck, man. Kane ignored the others and jogged over to where Noah was still crouched on the pavement. He quickly tipped his umbrella to cover Noah. Noah, what are you doing out here? What's wrong? Kane, I was looking for you. You should have called. It's just lucky I happened to be walking past. My phone's dead. Didn't pay the bill. Right. Sorry, I should have guessed. My parents are dead. What? Kane's face said all the words he couldn't think to say. Noah, I'm so sorry. I know you didn't have the best relationship, but how do you feel? About them being dead? Nothing. Even if you hate them, I'm sure you're not feeling nothing right now. I can't even say I hate them. It's been too long. It's just burnt out. I didn't have the energy to hate them anymore. Noah. The frown can't help Noah to his feet, brushing off his clothes. Let me walk you home. We can talk on the way, okay? Noah nodded, unsure where to start. It's not just about them being dead, it's how they died. This might sound crazy, but the world collapsed around them. As they disappeared, someone else stepped into the place they'd just been. That is also an outfit I want to get. That's cool. Except since I have red hair, I think it'd probably be better to be a red outfit. That's cool. He's hot though. Falling. That familiar feeling that could be felt in the pit of Noah's stomach. That feeling he hated. Just when he thought he'd be stuck in that limbo forever, he suddenly stopped. Fields rolled on for miles and miles. A landscape that, while entirely natural, looked anything but. Noah stood up from the grass. Besides him, Kane did the same. What the... Where are we? Kane's eyes were wide as he searched around the landscape for anything he could recognize. Of course, he couldn't find anything, because this wasn't a place he'd ever been before. It was far removed from the reality Kane knew. This is... Before Noah could explain, his arms were suddenly ripped from his side, shoved roughly behind his back. 2 clicks sounded, and they were locked behind him. Trespassers this far into the kingdom? Better throw them straight to jail. If the king finds out, he'll be furious. Jail? King? I think you misunderstand. We're just... Silence. Guard pushed him forward, causing Kane to stumble. Noah noticed his arms were also handcuffed behind his back. We're not from here. This is just a mistake. Shut up, vermin. Noah, start explaining. These are asshole guards. We're inside someone's dream. Have you eaten something funny? Look, I know it sounds insane, but just look around you. Do you really think I'm lying? Do you think I have the energy to lie to you right now? Yeah, because this man doesn't eat or drink or anything or rest. You brought us here? No, I didn't. And that's what I'm so confused about. I don't want to be here. I didn't choose to come here. But lately I've been dragged into dreams repeatedly without choice. It never used to happen like this. Kane's face had long since drained of color. The guards continued to march forward, pushing them towards the castle. Why is this not picking up my mouth? I feel like it hasn't been for a bit, and I don't know why. They ignored the words of the men dressed in strange clothes, deciding they were obviously crazy. Then, by it never used to happen like this, you mean? Ever since we were in high school, I've been able to do it, to enter dreams. How? Why? I don't know. I have no clue. Why didn't you tell me? Why do I have to tell you everything? Kane looked away, hurt by his words. How do we leave? You can leave once the dreamer is happy for you to leave. Then what do we do? what happens if they're not happy? Then they wake up and we, I don't know, die, I guess. Which wouldn't be the worst thing to happen. Noah, I'm not gonna die in a place like this. Then we better work out whose dream this is. Oh, maybe if I could if my arms weren't handcuffed. Hey, let us go! They marched Kane and Noah into the castle as the two struggled against their captors. The corridors twisted and turned, filled with darkness and stale air. Their footsteps echoed in the empty space as they walked between sets of bars. Noah glanced from cell to cell. In some, the people moved, skulking about in the shadows, tracking their movements. In others, Noah would have been surprised if the inmates weren't already long dead. Skin hung from their bodies, much too scrawny to support their lives any longer. They lay in their cells, unmoving. Noah, this doesn't feel like a dream. This feels real. Because we're actually here. Our bodies aren't in the real world anymore. The guards finally stopped their march, pulling on Kane and Noah's handcuffs. The metal bit into their wrists, leaving deep red marks that ached. Go ahead and rot in there. The handcuffs fell from their wrists with a click, and their backs were shoved hard with a blunt object. The hilt of a sword, Noah guessed. They stumbled forward, landing in a cell. The bars were swiftly slammed behind them, and the door locked with a key. Hey, don't we get a trial or something? Don't ignore me. Hey, come back here. Crap. Behind them, they hung the keys from a hook just out of reach of the cell, as if to tease them with freedom. Shit. Noah, this isn't good. You don't say. Noah cast his eyes around the cell until they came into contact with something. No, not something. Someone. A man sat leaning against a stone wall, chains keeping him from moving. Every cell in Noah's body froze. Not him. Why does it have to be him? Kane's eyes followed Noah's before they settled on the man. Is that Mr. Floyd? Sure looks like it. So, is it his dream? Probably. Do you want me to? I'll handle it. Wait, before either of us do any handling, can we talk for a minute? Sure, because we have the time to spare. Just a minute, please. Noah crossed his arms, waiting for the questions to start. Why were we pulled in here out of nowhere? I have no clue. Like I said, it's never happened like this before. Every other time, it was by choice. Which makes yesterday even stranger. What about yesterday? Noah waited on his mind, wondering whether he should tell Kane or not. Eventually, he decided to tell him the truth. I stopped coming into dreams years ago. Then yesterday, just like this, I was pulled into one. It was my father's dream, I think. And I saw him get shot. Then this morning, he turns up dead. What? His eyes went wide. Are they connected? I don't know. Maybe. There's markings that have been appearing. People dying in dreams. That's what I came to talk to you about. Anyway, let's just work on getting out of here, okay? Kane nodded in response. Noah slowly approached the man, one step at a time. Eventually, he looked up from the ground and stared hard at Noah. Noah? Noah flinched. Of all the people he wished to see this man the least. Mr. Floyd, we need to get you out of here. Out? No. Can't leave. Won't leave. Too scared. There's nothing to be scared about. This is a dream. You have the ability to alter it as you will. Come on, let's go. No, I can't. Fine. What are you scared of? The shadowy figure. He has a gun. Alarm bells rang in Noah's mind. Back towards Kane, who was already frowning. No one's going to hurt you. He shook as if he was going to burst in tears at any moment. Sorry, I just heard thunder outside. Thunder! I like thunder. I like the rain. Noah sighed. Looks like I have to do this the hard way. Then let me help you. You'll help me? After everything? Yes, just stay there while I work out how to get you unbolted. Then we'll leave together. Wait, Noah, I want to apologize. Noah turned his back, uninterested in where the conversation was going. I don't have any use for your apologies. If it were up to me, I would leave you here to rot, but Kane doesn't deserve to share that fate. Get him unbolted and get the door unlocked. This should be interesting. What do? We get him out of here, and then we'll be able to leave. Make that sound way too easy. Oh, it won't be. We're in a hurry, too, if he wakes up. Right, let's look around. Ooh, I can finally move around and do stuff. Okay. Safe? An unsteady heart, Noah looked towards the large bed that sat in the center of the room. Pretty much what I expected a medieval prison bed to look like. Guess I'll check it just in case. Why does the guy have a medieval prison dream? But he's a math teacher? Oh. Not too excited about digging through someone's used bedding, though. Want me to do it? Noah blinked in surprise for a moment before nodding. It was Kane he was with, after all. He'd always been the kind of person who would happily take the jobs no one else wanted to do. Probably only if you asked him. But I feel like this guy is either a very, very good friend or also had a crush. So, doesn't seem to be much here. And the pillow? He felt through the pillowcase, his eyes going wide. Nice thinking. He pulled out something small and metallic. A screwdriver. How did he get this in here anyway? Probably watched one too many TV shows and thinks everyone has a screwdriver hidden in their cell. Well, that works for me. Hopefully he dreamt up somewhere we can use this thing, too. Kane quickly handed the screwdriver over to Noah, his hand lingering on the other man's for just a moment before he pulled back. Noah knelt down on the ground by the wall, peering at something that had been scratched into the stone. There's something here. Let me take a look. 15, 28, 37, 46. I'm just making notes. Guess I need those later. Kneeling down by Noah's side, he glanced at the numbers marked on the wall. What exactly is that supposed to mean? Good question. Let's keep this in mind. I want to look at the box with buttons. What's this? What's that on the front? Noah turned the hexagon-shaped knobs, but nothing seemed to happen. It looks like it's missing a button. Probably no point messing with this until we can fix it. Standing proudly next to the worn-down bed was a wooden bedside table. On top, a small candle bolted to the surface. Noah approached it carefully before reaching down to touch the surface. Clean. What's in the drawer? Let's find out, shall we? Grabbing onto the handle, Noah pulled gently, but it refused to budge. I think it's locked. What kind of prison lets their prisoners have a locked drawer? This one, apparently. I suppose anything's fair game in a dream. Let's find something to unlock it. Noah turned to the chained up man still stuck in the wall, but it refused to look back at him. Hey, what's in there? Just leave him alone. He obviously doesn't want to talk to us. Let's look at these. 2 metal balls hung from the ceiling, caught motionlessly, without even a breeze to see them sway. far off cell, someone dragged their life-depraved body over the hard stone ground, slowed by the ball and chain stopped at their ankles. They collapsed, their last light in their eyes finally disappearing. Maybe this is where I belong. I don't know what happened to this guy, but it sounds like shit. Like, dubious buckets. There really is no way to get around looking at it, is there? Ugh. Holding his nose, Noah peered over the edge of the bucket. A murky liquid sat still inside. There's obviously no way putting my hand in there. Well, I dibs not. How old are you? Last time I checked, 24. Haha. Me being hilarious aside, do you really think there would be something hidden in there? I mean, you don't have to reach in it if you have a corner you just empty it into. Just dump it out in a corner somewhere? I don't know. Depends on how much is in the bucket, I guess. What's my second bucket? I wouldn't put it past him. Why don't we leave this as the last resort? Yeah, probably a good idea. Unless you'd rather stick your hand in there? No, let's just leave this for now. You also have a screwdriver you could stick in there? Outside the bars, various voices could be heard. Some were barely more than whispers, fleeting words never to be discovered. Others were screams and shouts, the sound of those never to be released begging for freedom. Even if these people aren't real, this isn't right. Unless you feel like staying here with them, we need to get out of here. That's all well and good to say, but there's a thick set of bars stopping us from leaving. Oi, be quiet in there. A guard walked past, brushing the hilt of his sword against the metal bars. Noah and Kane jumped back in surprise. Seeing someone with a sword isn't on my bingo card for the day. I own 3 of them, so... Ooh. 3? 4! I own 4 of them now. I own 4 swords. Just outside the bars, the keys hung on the hook by a rope, out of reach. The rope trailed down to the group, begging to be pulled on. The keys are hanging right there, if we could just reach them. From this far away? Maybe there's something in here we could use to grab it. I suppose it'll be more difficult than that, though. Hey, what's that? Kane pointed to the ground outside the bars where a piece of paper sat. That wasn't there before. Quickly, grab it. Because I think that is the only part I have not. Can I use the screwdriver? With the screwdriver in one hand and his will to live very quickly diminishing, Noah turned towards the bucket. Guess there's no choice. What's the plan here? Unscrew it? And let the contents spill all over the floor? No. I'm just gonna check if there's actually anything in here. The screwdriver dipped into the murky liquid deeper and deeper until it hit something with a soft twang. There's something in there. Oh? I'm still not sticking my bare hand in the thing. I don't know what's in there. I think I could take a guess. Please don't. Okay. A bit more easily cheated. Wouldn't that be nice? Could I use this on the bedside table? I wonder if I could just force the door open. Here, let me have a try. Kane quickly took the screwdriver and went to work, but no matter how much he tried, it refused to budge. Jesus, what is that drawer made out of? I suppose he dreamed of a specific way to open it. Nothing else will work. Fine, let's keep working. Okay, well, clear selection. Let's grab that paper. Looking back and forth quickly for any more guards, Noah peered at the paper that had been dropped outside the cell. Stretching his arm between the metal bars, Noah reached out far enough to touch it with his fingertips. Kane watched over his shoulder, inspecting the newly acquired item. It's... schedule. Something 701. Coward? Willing? 701. Coward 48. Beard 26. Ralph 17? Is that schedule? Looks like it. 7 to 1, 4 till 8, 2 till 6, 1 till 7. But who knows what the time it is now anyway. Maybe it means something. Probably the schedule of the guards. Just hope the guards won't be breathing down next when we're trying to, escape. So... that's probably William. Next one, Edward? Knowing their names. Henry... 6. And Ralph. 1 to 7. Very English names. Okay. Beyond the barrier, keeping the 3 inside the cell from freedom, a hollow noise sounded, metallic in nature. A shiver ran down Noah's back as it echoed through the prison, the source unknown. Yeah. For now, let's just take another look around. I don't think the bed's got anything else to it. Month-old sweat marks littered the dirty bedding, soon to be lost in the abyss between dreams, destined to only ever be held one. It's probably a good thing, too. Next time, Dream can clean our bed. Nothing. Don't worry about it. Decide to dig around in his bed after all? No, I think I'll leave that to the experts. Namely, you. Room for that. Why this marks the bars? I don't know. Bedside table, bed. Stuff okay. Provide a note, try his best to ignore it. I wonder if I could take down these weights. What for? All else fails, we just break down a wall. Let's leave that as a last resort. Wouldn't want to hurt yourself. The sound of gentle dripping came from somewhere down the corridor. From some far off corner of the prison. There's water or something else, no one would ever know. Noah stared at the screwdriver in his hand, feeling the weight in his palm. What are you thinking? You still good at sport? No, the last time I did any sport was years ago. Right. I'm gonna throw the screwdriver and hope to knock down the keys? Honestly, I don't know what I was thinking. I might need the screwdriver somewhere else. If it comes down to it, give it a shot later, okay? Daddy would have hidden anything in the bed frame. Probably not worth taking it apart. Well, if we get stuck, we could always try it. Let's keep it as last resort. I don't want to touch that thing. Like, really, what do I do here? The screwdriver helps with wall engravings. Commissioning, Noah turns with the bucket. I guess there's no choice. Open here. Okay, yeah, no, that's... So there is something there. I'm not sticking barehanded. Okay. What now? Nothing, it's just a hunch, but I feel like these numbers are related to the ones on the schedule. Think so? How? I haven't worked out that part yet. Like if William is actually 1 to 5. Edward's actually 4 to 6. Henry's actually 2 to 3. And then Ralph is actually 3 to 7. I think so. So Noah, what? Kane balled up the piece of paper in his hand, a habit of his when he became anxious about something. I was just thinking, you know, No, I don't know. Just thinking that it was nice to see you a little more active. What's that supposed to mean? I just mean that this is the first time you've left your house in how long? And that's none of your business. I'm just happy, alright? I just wanted this for you for so long. Maybe stuck in a prison, chatting over a dirty bucket? Well, not exactly. Still, it's a step in the right direction. Yeah, whatever. I didn't have a choice this time, but I won't be doing this again. But why not? I don't want to move on. No, I'm not saying you have to move on completely or forget about him, but I said I don't want to. Right. Kane stared down at the piece of paper in his hands, his eyes following the letters closely. It's so strange, isn't it? What is? These names, these people, they're not even real, but they still exist here. Can't wrap my head around it. Get used to it. But sometimes even I can't tell the difference between what's real or fake. Hey Noah. Yeah? Have you ever... Maybe it doesn't matter. Just put it out already. Have you ever seen anyone you know here? Not for a long time. Sorry. Sitting down the dark card scheduled bedside table, Noah glanced around the room. This dream really does suck. Of all the ones to be forced into. I thought you said they were all bad. They are, but this one is particularly bad. Okay, wait, so what do I do here? Oh, so that... Okay. I haven't done this, so... I'm gonna use the screwdriver and everything else. Noah knelt down by the engravings again, his thumb passing over the indents. I would think a teacher would know not to vandalize things. Probably sat here and chipped away at the wall with a screwdriver slowly over time. Or was it already here when the dream started? Who knows? It's been a long time since I last saw him. Yeah, me too. I wonder if he still teaches. I already quit after, you know. You can just say it, after he was fired because of me. It wasn't your fault. It started with what he did. He got what he deserved. Do you ever wish something worse happened to him? Always. Noah. You know, you never told me what he said to your parents. It doesn't matter anymore. Is there a non-option somewhere I'm supposed to, like, click? Diagram the flesh of an inmate, the scream was inaudible. Alright, well, I got one button. But... yeah, because I don't have a hint for this, so... is the wrong box style. Click on left or right. Click the hunt button again for another hint. Okay, well, I got that. Find the directions you're meant to turn next ones in the drawer. Again, for another hint. In the drawer. Okay, I haven't gotten in the drawer. Screwdriver. Bedside table. Open it. Door open. Try. Just what it's made of. No one else will work. Dubious bucket. See, like... Will live. I guess there's no choice. Yeah, no, but... It won't let me get in the bucket. What am I supposed to do? Suspicious, nothing. Somewhere easily cheated. Nice. Can't do anything with the bars. But it literally won't let me get into the bedside table. Yeah, I know the inventory is there. It won't let me in the bucket to get that. Can't do anything with the bars. Okay, I have some wall engravings. Can't do anything with these. What now? Schedule, I think also. Got that part out yet? Yeah, I got that. Air, sounds more sinister. No, none of it. For enhanced skeptical news thing back out there, I suppose. Slightly feeling the dry old paper. Foreign against his palm as he stared down in bed yet again. Nothing more than a falsehood. Falsehood. A fake. A feeling that wasn't real, yet it was. None of this is real. This wonder was more fake in the end. And follow this closely. One fake. No idea. Never. Yep, assuming you know here. The paper does anything to those. Staring down the note with any kind of clues, Noah was abruptly grabbed by the wrist. What? You nearly walked head first in those things. Be careful. Thanks. Literally, there's nothing. I need to get the thing out of the bucket, but it won't let me have the thing in the bucket. So what exactly am I supposed to do? Like, I can't click on any of the food stuff with the chopsticks. The bars are like gigantic all the way out here. What am I supposed to do? It won't let me in the bedside table, and there's nowhere else to search. What the fuck am I supposed to do right now? Hold on. this. I googled that. I had to Google that. Why the fuck did I have to Google that? Jeez. The room was cold, chilling the inhabitants down to their bones. The cool stone of the walls reminded them that they weren't welcome. Noah reached up and ran his fingers over them. Freezing to the touch, the moisture clung to his skin. It feels just as lifelike as I remember. I said you used to use a lot, didn't you? Are they always like this? Like what? So hostile? I thought I saw the people around me at their worst. I thought I knew to some extent how unwanted I was. As it turned out, that was only a fraction of how they really felt. The truths people keep to themselves, the secrets they hold, the way people truly think about you. You'll find them all here. So, yes, they're all like this, in a way. No, not everyone is like that. Everyone that's left is like that. Except Cain. Is he not, like, nice and... A stone shifted beneath Noah's palm as he ran his hand across the dark gray wall. The stone is loose. Can you pull it out? No, it's still too heavy. There must be something around here we can use to break it. Let's keep looking. Alright, and Noah, I would never do anything to hurt you. You know that. Yeah, maybe. Well, screwdriver and loose brick. Gripping the screwdriver in his hand, Noah turned towards the loose stone brick. You're really gonna go at it with that little screwdriver? You have any better ideas? Well, no, but... Fine, might as well give it a go. Lift the small tool and stab at the stone as if it were flesh. Fortunately, it still wasn't enough. Damn it! Don't worry about it. I'm sure there's something else we can use. Something else in here we can use. Noah held the paper up to the wall, staring at the writing on it. The names of those that didn't really exist and never would. Perhaps those were reflections of real people, perhaps they weren't. What difference does it make? Either way, we're the same in the end. Noah? On the other side of this cool stone wall, someone cried almost silently. Every room was probably the same, an empty, hollow world. So that's how it is. What is? The ball and chains hanging from the ceiling, they line up perfectly with that loose brick. Nice job, I hadn't noticed. Let's give it a go. With some effort, Noah pulled the heavy ball back as far as he could and let it go. It sailed through the air before crashing into the brick, smashing it to pieces. Good job. Thanks. Initially excited, Noah frowned to himself before he composed his face. I mean, it's no big deal. We just gotta get out of here. You still did a good job. There's nothing wrong with being happy about that. This isn't the place to be happy. There's nothing wrong with happiness. Behind the crumbled remains of loose brick was a thick metal grate, held on tight by 4 screws. Can you see what's behind it? Noah peered in with no luck. Nope, we'll have to get this grate off. Good thing I have a screwdriver for that. With precision, Noah raised the screwdriver to the 4 screws in the corner of the grates, quickly removing it from the wall. I knew that screwdriver would come in handy and useful eventually. But what's this behind the gate? Behind the grate? Okay, clear selection. Strange box. Noah and Cain approached the hole in the wall to find a small, square box. Tentatively, Noah reached out and picked it up. Turned turned it around in his grasp. There didn't seem to be anything noteworthy around the surface, except for 4 unmarked buttons on the front. What is this supposed to be? Big question. Pressed a few of the buttons, but nothing eventful happened. Do you think we have to press them in the right order? Probably. Nothing's easy. How are we meant to guess? It could be anything. There should be a clue around somewhere in the room. That's how dreams usually work, hopefully. Kane nodded in response, his eyes caught on the small box. Or we could try to smash it? And if it has something breakable in it? Right. Well, I'm sure we have half a brain between us. We can work it out. Speak for yourself. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? No. Okay. Oh, because I'm doing this wrong. Hold on. So this one is right. This is right. Oh, this is upper left. 2, 3 is lower left. So it's right. Should be upper right, and the other one is lower left. Upper left. I think 7, 4, 6, 7. Alright, let's try this. Uh-oh. Look over. Fine, I've got this. Okay, let me... This schedule. Alright, so this is the schedule. It just corresponds. So, there's Williams 1 to 7. Everett's 4 to 8. Henry's 2 to 6. Ross 7. But then also the numbers in the corner. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, never mind. That schedule doesn't have anything to do with it. Okay. So, let's... Selection. Try again. 1, 2. Six, 7, 8. That's it. Start over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are you okay? Is that not it? Because those are the numbers. Eight digits long? Yeah, okay, so look, 8 digits. 8 digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that not it? Numbers in the schedule to find the unlock code? What? Okay, if that's the case, can't I view the schedule again? Okay, great, it's connected. Let me view the schedule. There's 2 ones. There's 2. No 3, no 5. So what is it supposed to be? So 6. 4 minus 8 is not a thing. Combine the numbers on the schedule. Yeah. Yeah, because that's important to match. Find which button corresponds to which number on the wall. But wait, there's... Oh, so it's 71? But no, that's 71. And then 48, 26, 17. There's also 8, and 8, and 8, and... Like, what? How do you make this connection? Where the fuck do you get 18 from? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How the fuck did you get that? I honestly don't know how you solved that. Like, what? Yeah. How is that? Combine the numbers on the schedule to find the unlock code. 7 till 8, okay. 4 till 6, 2 till 6, 1 till 7. Buttons correspond to the numbers etched into the wall. 15, 20, like... How is 7 till 1, 15? 6 hours? Like, what the fuck? How do you get 15 out of that? I don't understand. Can someone explain that logic? I literally don't understand that logic. Okay, and in case you're wondering about the puzzle box solution in a little more detail, why? The guard times just reads the numbers in... Guard times just read as numbers in order are 7, 1, 4, 8, 2, 6, 1, 7. The wall numbers are top left, 1, 5... Okay. You're supposed to match the numbers you can match from the guard times with their positions on the number walls. 7 shows up in 37, so 7 becomes matched with bottom left. Okay, so 7, 1, 4, 8, 2, 6, 1, 7. And 7 shows up in 37. Okay, so the 37, the 1, the 4, the 8, the 2, the 6. Okay, that is not a combination. That is a match, not a combine. Sorry, I don't like it when puzzles are badly written. And the fact that there are multiple people who are like, this is how you do it. I'm being salty. I usually like this studio. Like, I usually do. But this was not a thought out puzzle. This puzzle was not thought out well, or not tested on anyone other than people who think like the person who made the puzzle. The box in Noah's hand sang lightly before the box opened, revealing what was inside. Key? A key? This is too easy though. Way too easy. What do you mean? Noah stared at it, untrusting. Seriously, sometimes things can just be easy. Come on, this is something to celebrate about. I guess so. Fine, let's try it out. A sigh escaped Noah's lips as he rubbed the back of his neck, eyes darting away from Kane. Something wrong? No, nothing's wrong. It's just... it doesn't matter. Don't leave me hanging like that. Thanks for being here, I guess. A look of surprise crossed Kane's face at Noah's honest words. Well, it's not like I had much choice, but I'd come with you anytime. I'd just rather never come back here, to be honest. Yeah, me too. So in looking up the answer, that's more like there are 11 verses. And I don't remember... So it was... Kane was one of them, which I'd expect in this game. I honestly think romance with Kane, like, as nice as he is, would be messy. It's because of the back history and all that shit. Be a lot of ups and downs, and... I don't know. Maybe, but probably not. There's another name I didn't remember. Who I think is the mismatched eye guy, but I'm not sure. Could be someone else. And then there was someone named Crow. And I know from the Patreon that Crow is very popular, so I'm looking forward to seeing Crow. Like, understanding his character. But if the white guy, the dual color eyes is an option, see my eyes dual color. Like, yeah, no. Hey. I think this is probably the most you've spoken to me in years, you know? Sorry. The key slipped in with a soft click before opening. Of course it opens the door. Maybe there's another key inside? Only one way to find out. With a creaking, hollow sound, the door opened. The inside was bare except for... gloves? Really? What is it? Well... Kane scratched his face awkwardly, his gaze facing away. Noah followed his lampset until it landed on something he wanted to ignore. Fantastic. Wait, what's that? Looking down, Noah noticed something else. Something scratched into the wood. Let's take a closer look at that. What do you think this is supposed to mean? Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, right. Nothing, nothing, right, right? Okay, that's a good question. Well, whether we can work it out right now or not, I think this is probably important. Helpful. Can't believe I'm doing this. The offer still stands if you want me to give it a go instead. No, I can at least do this much for myself. There's nothing wrong with depending on me. The slight frown, Noah discarded any response he had for Kane and dipped his hand into the bucket. So? Slowly, as if he was scared to find out exactly what he just grabbed hold of, he pulled the object into sight. A bottle. The glass was darkened and dirty, hiding whatever was inside of it. Kane leant in close as the cork was removed. Noah flipped the bottle over, letting the contents spill into the ground with a clack. Facing upwards in the ground was a tiny hexagon with a crescent moon design. Not what I was expecting, honestly. This better have been worth sticking my hand in that filth for. That bucket was only used for a ceiling leak. It's just been sitting there for a while. Looks like you got all worked up for nothing, hey? So this goes on here. The puzzle piece locked into place alongside the others, waiting to be turned. Well, that's that fixed. Okay, so left. Actually, reset puzzle. Left, right, left, right, left, right, 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 and then blank, blank, right, and right. That one was easy. Four buttons locked in place with a click. Kane and Noah leant over it, waiting for something to happen. It's not really as satisfying as that other puzzle, is it? Maybe if it made a noise. You mean the one with the buttons? That aggravated the shit out of me? Satisfying? No. No, let's not. Let's not. And say we didn't. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's see what's inside this thing. A candle? Interesting. Noah froze in place. That voice, the same voice, it never changed. Noah, you don't have to talk to him if you don't want to. I don't have much choice if I want to get out of here. What is it? I didn't mean to. All this time, I just wanted to see you again, to apologize. Well, here I am, and this means nothing because this isn't really you. You're acting sorry for yourself, that's all. Do you really think you're the victim here? Do you really think I have to forgive you? Just because you want me to? No, I'd rather you sit there and feel sorry for yourself. Don't bother talking to me unless you're going to help us leave. Okay. The man chained to the wall shuffled in place. Metal scraped against stone, a sound so jarring and discomforting that Kane couldn't help but shift from foot to foot. As Noah turned towards the sound, a scene came to mind. Outside, the sun high in the sky, someone stood at the front of a classroom, writing something on a whiteboard. Without the pen against the desk, the teacher's voice became background noise. He glanced to the side. A boy with blonde hair and round glasses glanced back at him and smiled. The scene fell away into nothingness. In its place was his childhood teacher, huddled on the floor, completely alone. Noah turned away from the shell of a man to the bedside table. On it, bolted down, was a small lantern. He quickly dipped his candle in it, lighting the wick immediately. The flame flickered from side to side. Noah's breath caught in his throat. Freedom. Why was the lit candle freedom? This is it. What is what? What are you doing? This is our only choice. Look. Noah pointed towards the key, which hung from a thin rope that fell to the stone ground. Around it, some kind of dark liquid. You're going to bet everything on throwing a candle towards a rope? Don't you think that looks like oil? If it catches fire and the key drops to the ground, you should be able to reach it. Right. Alright, I'll trust you. Let's do this. Noah swallowed hard. Calming his shaking hand, he held tight to the lit candle, sizing up just how far he had to throw it. And there. Gently, so as not to put it out before he reached the rope, Noah tossed it towards the key. In an instant, the puddle of oil went up in flames, and the rope quickly followed suit. Moments later, the key fell to the stone floor with a clang, almost bouncing towards Noah. He reached between the bars as far as he could, to the point where his shoulder ached from being pressed into the hard metal. And finally, it was in his grasp, a key made of dark, rusted metal that sat against his palm. He clutched it to his chest. Yes! You got it? As he stood from the ground, Cain wrapped an arm around Noah's shoulders, pulling him close and almost ruffling his hair. I never doubted you for a second. Bullshit. Hey, get off of me. Something about the scene played out in a dimly lit, dirty prison inside a dream made Noah feel nostalgic. I mean, I guess the scene does. The, dimly lit, dirty prison does not, but like nothing had ever changed. Like he was a school kid, and all the hope in the future ahead of him. His smile fell from his face as the weight of the future of his present suddenly weighed down on him. I was feeling this nostalgia. How could he feel it? How could he dare to feel it? To feel happiness? He pulled away from Cain and brushed his clothes off. Come on, I'll unlock the chains. Cain, who was smiling alongside Noah, also paused in his excitement. He scratched back his head as if embarrassed for his sudden outburst. Okay, so, real talk moment, again. I keep interrupting with those, but it is okay to feel moments of happiness, even after you lose someone who's close to you, or that you deeply care about. It is okay. Especially if you've had significant time where you want to grieve, even if you haven't, it's still okay to feel moments where you get some happiness with someone, and you're, even just something like this, like nostalgia, with your best friend who still cares for you, even though you've turned into a complete asshole and given up on the world and everything. It is okay to find yourself smiling at something nostalgic with that friend, or to find yourself happy spending time with someone you care about, even after you've lost someone that you love. It's okay. And you may not feel like it, but it is. Right, that's why we're here, anyway. It's time to go, Mr. Floyd. Can I really leave? Noah knelt down and quickly unlocked the chains that held the man down. His wrists were bloody and bruised. Yes, it's time to leave. For reasons unknown to even himself, Noah reached out to help his old teacher up from the ground. Mr. Floyd's face was filled with emotions, none of which seemed to win over the others. His mouth opened and closed, then opened and closed once again. He had something to say. He had many things to say, but nothing escaped his lips. Noah turned his back to the man and walked back towards the locked door. The key slid effortlessly into the lock, and the door opened. At the same time, the world began to fall apart around them. The walls fell, the floors cracked, and the cell shook, as if it would tear itself apart from reality. Mr. Floyd looked as if reaching out to Noah. His mouth opened, but no words came out as he disappeared, too. Noah grabbed Cain's hand. Run, we gotta go. What's happening? The dream is falling apart. We don't have long. We must get outside. Hand in hand, the two ran through the twisting corridors, searching for the light that would be their savior as the world rumbled around them. Booms echoed through the building, so loud they could feel it in their very cores. Cain's hand and Noah's felt sweaty. Noah was sure he felt the same. His legs burned. His muscles screamed out in pain, begging for relief. When had been the last time he'd run like this? Probably after. There, the door. They sprung out of the door to the world outside, just in time to watch the entire castle fall down into a heap, then get sucked out of existence. The world outside looked much the same as when I first arrived, but soon it wouldn't. Soon it too would collapse and disappear. A fleeting dream that could never truly exist. Shit. Let's go. How do we get out of here? If we go back to where we came in, there should be a way. The two turned to leave, but someone stood in their way. A man with blonde hair and deep green eyes. As it scrolls up, is this? Why does that look like August? Is that Crow? Tell me that's Crow. The two men froze. Their mouths hung open with surprise, and their eyes were so wide, I would have been surprised if either of them they simply burst out of their heads. The man smiled softly, a sweet smile that reminded one of a sunflower in full bloom. A sweet smile that could only belong to one person. August. August? He looked at Noah with sadness in his eyes. Noah. Noah had a million questions running through his mind. A million things he wanted to say. A million things he wanted to do. But his mouth wouldn't cooperate. He couldn't say a single word. Oh, it's back to staring creepy again. No words, just stares. How many times had he gone over a situation like this in his head? How many speeches had he prepared? Were he ever to see August again? Tears formed in the corners of his eyes. King continued to stare, deep in confusion. Who? How? Was he a part of the dream? Mr. Floyd knew him well, so it wouldn't be a surprise. But he looked so whole, so real. Who are you? My name is Crow. This is Crow. This is Crow. Who are you? He waited for those words he wished for so dearly. For him to be real, for him to be August. I am nobody, just a wanderer. You two had best be going before you cease to exist, along with the rest of this world. The boy named Crow smiled at them, the same gentle smile that Noah knew so well. He wanted to run back to him, to ask him those million questions, but instead he felt a tug at his hand. Cain. Noah, we have to go. But when Noah looked back, he was gone. Just before the world turned in on itself, Cain and Noah escaped. And that's Crow. So this has been 2.5 hours. Quick moment just to stretch. Hi, Harley Kitty. You enjoy your food? I think the rain stopped. What little rain we had. Okay. Stretch for a minute. Same falling feeling, same fear deep in his stomach. And then he was back. Back home, in a reality where he was alone. He keeps saying it's I get he lost August. And he doesn't want to move on. But you have a friend who's trying to help keep you alive. It looks like you've done nothing in terms of mental health or reached out to resources. You're just wallowing in your own self-pity. And I don't have too much sympathy for Noah. So I should, as the main character. And there's supposed to be a lesson we're going through here with him. And things like that. That's what we're supposed to do. But no. Just no. He's hard to connect to, I think. For me, anyway. There's some things I can connect to and some things that I don't. Like the depression I can connect to some degree. But the absolute unwillingness to do anything but let the depression run wild, that's hard for me to connect to. When Noah opened his eyes, he was once again in his house, sitting in front of his easel. On it, a half-completed painting. Green fields that twisted into something sinister, something beyond reason. He lifted his brush once again. This time, every stroke came with ease. It was as if he was spilling his very soul into this canvas. Each and every drop of paint reflected him. That ease was something he hadn't felt in far too long. But his mind was elsewhere. Crow. If Kane hadn't, I could have asked you those million questions. I could have felt you again. Even if we could only chat for a little while, that would have been enough. Is it you? He looked just like you. His smile reminded me so much of yours. Crow and August. Please. A knock sounded from the front door. For some reason, Noah stood from his painting and opened it. Something in the past he would have simply ignored. Perhaps his mind was too occupied for him to consider what he was doing. Perhaps when he opened the door, somewhere deep inside of him, hoped to see a certain someone with a smile like spring and eyes as deep as a forest. But the person on the side's door was a man he'd never seen before. The man with white hair pushed past Noah into his house. Noah stood still in shock, his eyes following the man in disbelief. He kicked over a few canvases from a forgotten couch in the corner of the room and sat down, making himself at home. Oh look, he's kind of arrogant too. Those are more than thigh highs. They go all the way up. Or just are all pants. I don't know. Only a moment later, he picked up the remote and turned on the TV, kicking his legs up onto an abandoned painting. What the fuck? What the hell are you doing? Get out, or I'm gonna call the police. Your phone service got cut off. His voice was flat and matter-of-fact. And how the hell would you know that? I saw the disconnection notice in your trash. Noah shut the door and approached the man, filled with apprehension. Who the hell just comes in someone's house, sits on their couch, and turns the TV on? What's going on? Alright, jackass. Who are you? Ivan. Noah finally got a good look at this Ivan. His hair was bleached completely white, and his eyes were different colors. His clothes were strange, as if he belonged on a catwalk, instead of surrounded by all of this mess. Still, he had no trouble making himself at home. He leant back into the couch, completely uninterested in Noah. His eyes rested on the TV, his expression bored. What's going on? Finally, Noah noticed it. Markings that ran up his arm and neck. Markings he'd seen before, more than once, on that very same TV. Oh, well, Ivan's dying. What do you want from me? I'm staying here tonight. I don't have anywhere else to go. Answer the damn question. Got a problem? I said I'm staying here tonight. But why? Because I've taken an interest in you. Anyway, I'm tired. Where's the bedroom? Without thinking, Noah pushed towards the door. Or pointed towards the door. I met Ivan. Thanks. You can take the couch. Ivan stood from his place, straightened out his clothes, then went into the bathroom. Noah stood still in shock, wondering what just happened. Shaking his head, he picked up his brush again to paint. I'll deal with him later. I can't lose this inspiration. Alright, I don't particularly want to do more backwards, like, old school stuff. And I think 2 hours and 45 minutes is pretty good. So, I am naming this Part 1. As soon as I figure out how to get back to my current stream, I am naming this Part 1. And ending this one here, because it's also been 2 hours and 45 minutes and we've had one puzzle. So I'm saving and I am ending. So thanks for everyone who made it this far and is hanging out with me. have a great